What's up, Scott Oldford here. I'm a mentor to 7-figure entrepreneurs and helped hundreds of entrepreneurs scale. And today, I want to share with you why you absolutely, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to take far more vacations than you're taking. So, one of the difficult pieces of being an entrepreneur, of course, is workload. You got all these different types of things that you need to be thinking about doing and so on. And so you can kind of get in this rabbit hole where you can talk yourself out of not taking vacations, right? You can't afford it. You don't have the time. The team's going to, go away if things aren't going to get done if you're not there. And that may be true, right? That may very well be true. So back in 2017, I realized that a lot of the times, the things that I did, the things that I was always like hustling and working on, I didn't actually need to do. It wasn't actually like necessary. I didn't really need to do it. And so what I finally figured out was one thing that I could do that would heavily benefit me was to take more vacations. Now I'm going to tell you why you need to take more vacations besides the fact that it's like fun to do. Okay. And I'm also going to share with you the fact that I really do believe that you don't have to be like some millionaire to take a bunch of vacations, to take time off at the end of the day. Obviously, it's a lot more fun as you have the wealth to be able to do what you want. But it's not necessary. It's the time off that's the most important. Okay. So the first thing I want to cover is the fact that your perception of the world directly influences your business, right? All decisions that you make are heavily influenced by how you see the world. And so every single time that you take time away, all right, so that we go from closed attention. So closed attention is what we use when we're focused and we're hustling and we're getting things done. All right, here's the things we need to do. Here's our to-do list. It also closed attention creates a lot of anxiety. So when we go to open attention, which is what happens when we go to a different place, we have a different routine, we have a different worldview. What happens is we start to see a lot more than we see on a daily basis. Now, we all have these opportunities inside of our business for further growth. And we all have these challenges that like we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to figure out the specifics of what something is. And most of the time, what you'll realize is you don't solve the big problems by sitting down at your computer and like trying to figure it out. That's not how it happens. How it happens is you being able to change your perspective, and through you being able to change your perspective, your perception and perspective, through open attention, the idea kind of like comes to you. Like the solution comes to you. Whatever problem you've been trying to like figure out is much easier to be solved. And what I found is anytime I go on vacation, whether it's a couple of days or a day or a week, my view of everything changes, which has been very impactful in being able to scale businesses. Now, the second thing that you have to realize is that you're only good as your health, right? And so your emotional, mental, physical health, okay? And vacations allow for rejuvenation of your body. And generally, we're tired. Entrepreneurs are tired. I mean, we suffer from adrenal fatigue, burnout, all these different types of things. And I'm not going to tell you that having vacations are going to completely fix that. But what I do find is that allows for a deep reset on your body and your energetic level. And that has a massive, massive return on investment inside of your business. The third thing it's going to do, it's going to make you feel like what you're doing is worth it, okay? And a lot of the time when we're in the middle of whatever we're in the middle of, if we're in the middle of the building and the hustle phase, a lot of the times on a Thursday night after a difficult week, working a bunch, you're just going to say, why am I doing this again? I'm crazy. Why am I doing this again? And I got to tell you, there is nothing like going on a vacation, looking at a beautiful view, having an amazing experience, eating food that you've never eaten before, whatever it is, taking the time away from the to-do list, away from the team, away from Slack, away from social media, Just be like, wow, this is why I do this. I'm on to the reason I do this, right? Because travel is the embodiment of freedom, right? When we travel, we feel the embodiment of freedom very deeply. Okay, so far there's a lot of reasons already. The fourth is it's beautiful for your relationship. Right? Not only does it make it so that you're looking forward to something, but if you're in a relationship, or even just the relationship with yourself, it allows for your relationship to grow. Because when you're an entrepreneur and you're just working and doing things, there's time for family, but there's a different romance that happens. There's a different depth that you create when you go and travel, or when you just simply take time and you're like, you know what, I'm just turning off the phone. Okay, so that's the fourth big reason, if there's no other reason, right? And so we can have amazing relationships with our significant others. The next reason, the fifth reason, when you go on vacation, you understand better what isn't working inside of your business. Okay, so in my book, The Nuclear Effect, I talk about marketing, sales, operations, delivery, finance, and mindset. So when you go on vacation, a lot of times we kind of plug the holes in our business on a daily basis and we don't even know it. Okay, or there's a dysfunction inside of our team or marketing or sales or whatever it might be, and there's no better way to understand what these things are than to be able to go away for a little bit, and when you come back, you instantaneously know, we need to fix this. I talk about this 6-pillar exercise. I've helped hundreds, thousands of entrepreneurs past 6, hundreds past 7. Every single one of them use this process, the 6-pillar process. One of the best things that you can do is to be able to go away so you can see what's really not working, where you're plugging the holes. Right? It's very, 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 very helpful for the entrepreneurs that I work with. Okay. And so once you start looking at this, you start seeing that the return on investment going on vacation or taking time away is massive, right? It's when you start, if there's a bonus one, if there's like a bonus reason, it's because the willful consciousness and the intellectual consciousness that is required in business, when we shut that off, we end up in this intuitive consciousness where we can really feel ourselves. We can feel our emotions. We can feel our feelings. We get to know who we really are. And that may be scary, but that's where the depth of our life comes from. That's where our happiness and fulfillment comes from. And yes, you know what? If you stayed back and you didn't do, all the vacations, would you make a little bit more money? Maybe. But the chances are all the things that I just told you will help you and fuel you to have even more money. And if there's a second bonus, I was going to start with 5, but we're at 7. If there's another bonus, number 7, second bonus, it's the fact that when you come back from having a rejuvenation, you just feel fired up, ready to go, ready to build, ready to do things. But when you don't have that time and you're just always working, you're always plugged in, you don't feel that way as much. So up until 2021, the middle of 2021, when myself and my wife, we started the process of having a child. I'm recording this in April. We're having a kid in May of 2022. During that time, we took, I think, maybe 5 vacations. Beforehand, we would do a vacation at least for 3 days, at least every single month. All right, 3 days away, at least every single month. And sometimes that was renting a place an hour down the road. Sometimes that was going to Mexico. Sometimes that was going to Big Sur. I'm here in California. Okay. Now, this doesn't have to be super expensive. It scales with your life. Okay. So I don't want you to look at it, well, you can do that, but I can't do that. It's about you unplugging from your current reality and going to another one. It can be camping. It can be just taking your SUV and sleeping in the back somewhere. It does not matter. The activity matters less than the act of going away. Because when we come away from something, we can understand its depth. Hopefully that was helpful. Appreciate you. Love you. Keep building the business as you are. I'll see you soon.